All right, guys, so I'm going to teach you the double ADX strategy, right? This strategy, um, I hope you already know the basics, right? So let's just get into the strategy itself, right? So firstly, it's going to be candles. And then here, the candle time period is 15 seconds. And then the ADXs. So the first one is a 20 period ADX. And then the second one is a 2 period ADX. And then I just like to have my Bollinger Band as well. I keep it as well as at 20. Um, Now that's fine. I prefer blue. Okay, that's it. That's it. That's it. That's it. Right. So I like to increase these a bit. Okay, this guy, when this guy gets below the red one here, let me show you. When this gets below the red, I'm gonna buy for a minute. I should change to digital. Okay, there we go. It's about to get to the red. So let's just use 10. Okay, it's below now. There we go. Okay. I'm sure you saw that my entry should have been here, but it's still gonna work out. You'll see it's still gonna work out. This is just a 5. So just try and make sure that you stay on the 15-second, not 5 second. But you would have seen that with the yeah, okay, now I would have answered, right? So still a perfect entry, no worries, right? But we're just lucky to get a trade just before I even explain, right? So just look at the trade play out, and then I'm gonna explain what this double ADX strategy is all about, right? Okay, I think you can just see it. It's clearly an ITM. Um, yeah, it's clearly an ITM. So let's get into the crux of it, right? Um, okay, so what you need to know about any strategy for it to be a good strategy, it needs to tell you a couple things. So number one, it needs to obviously tell you when to enter a trade, like when is a buy trade and when is a sell trade, right? Okay, it's a win. Uh, we were lucky to just get a trade before I even explained, but I'm gonna explain with this example, right? So I'm just gonna I'm just gonna keep it here, right? Okay, cool. So the strategy has to tell you when to enter a trade, and then it has to tell you when not to enter a trade, right? Because like let's say for instance you have a very simple strategy that says you should buy when the candles are below a Bollinger Band, and you would sell when the candles are above the upper Bollinger Band, right? So in this case, this sell trade would have won. Here it would have won. Here it would have won as well. But here it would lose, right? So your strategy needs to tell you that, okay, even though the trade is outside, I mean, the candles are outside, that means I should enter. My strategy should have a way, you should have some indicators to filter out the bad trades. So the ADXs are here to help the Bollinger Band. Well, not in this strategy, of course, but I'm just giving you an example of what makes up a good strategy, for instance. So, well, this time around, it's the ADXs that are entry signals that give you the entry signals. So let me just explain the basics of the entry signal. So since this is a buy trade, I'm going to start with the buy signal. So the first thing you look at is the ADX 20. So this 20 period ADX. So what you want to see from the 20 period ADX, you want to see the ADX line, which is yellow in this case. You want to see the ADX line coming from underneath both the red line and the green line, right? So it should come from underneath and go all the way to above both of them as well, right? So from below both of them all the way to above both of them, right? If that's the case, okay, that's the first criteria. That's the first criterion that you should tick. So once it crosses above the upper, it doesn't matter whether it's the red or the green one that's at the top, but when it crosses both of them, where it crosses both, I call this area the money zone. Of course, from here, this is where most of money is being made and lost, right? Because most traders are like people who are since this is going down, people will say no, it's going up, they will buy here, and the market just keeps going down because they think it's too low, and then when it's here they'll decide, you know what, the market is going down, in fact let me just go down with it, and then it starts going up, and then they lose the opposite trade as well. So a lot of money is being lost here, but the brokers are making a lot of money here. So I've traded a lot in this area and lost a lot of money. So I know how to identify these areas. You know, when the market gives you a signal like a buy signal here, you lose and then you take it again here. You lose and then you take it again here, and then you lose again. You know, and sometimes each time you lose, you increase your bet size. So if you were trading with $10 on the first one, and the next one would be 15, and then the next one would be, because now you've lost 25, so you want to make back the 25, so you're gonna go with 50 and then with 100 and then you end up losing $200 in just a matter of like 5 minutes or something. Well, I've been there, trust me, I've been there. So I know this area a lot. So I call this the money zone, right? When the ADX is above both the red and the green line. By the way, I'm talking about the ADX 20, not the ADX 2. Okay, so once we're here, there's not much that you do. You just wait. What are you waiting for? You're waiting for two things. Okay, let's just keep it simple. You're waiting for a crossover of these two lines here, but the crossover should happen while the ADX or the yellow line is still above both of them, right? If that's the case, then that's a good crossover, right? Uh, However, sometimes it happens that the crossover happens when the ADX is somewhere in, or is already in between or near them, right? It should be way above them when the ADX, when the crossover happens. Okay, that's the second thing that you look for. And then the third thing, which is probably this is what makes the ADX or the strategy very, very accurate. It's this ADX with the period of 2, because this is the one that tells me when to execute exactly. Because remember I showed you that now it's going, I think it was somewhere around here, and then I told you that when it goes below the red line, I'm going to enter, and it did that. When I tried to zoom in, it did that, and then I took a trade, and the trade won, right? So uh, this is the most complex part. Well, what does the Bollinger Band do? Well, the Bollinger Band this time around, it's not the one that tells me when to trade, but it's the one that tells me when not to trade. Okay, so look at what these candles have done. So they've done what's known as walking the band. So they're just walking or just touching multiple times this lower band here. They don't like go down and then come back to the middle and then fall again, come back to the middle. They're not doing that. So whenever you see this, just know that it's gonna take a while for the crossover to happen, right? Usually it would have occurred here. You see, it tried to go and cross here, but it did not. And then it tried again the second time here, but it did not. It's only the third time that the crossover actually happened. So I knew that because the ADX did tell me. The ADX told me that the Bollinger Band told me that the crossover will not take place immediately. So just be patient. And then the last thing, obviously, you just look at your ADX2, which is what tells you when to enter and when not to enter, right? So, uh, wait, let me read something here. Somebody just text me on, okay. Thank you, Ma. Let's see. Wow, $16.16. Whoa, look at that. Look at that. Look at that. So apparently the robot is killing it for this guy. This is Langano Manyati. Wow, he even uses my spreadsheet. I like that. He's using my spreadsheet, right? This is, as you can see, bond trader spreadsheet of the supernova here. He's winning a lot. Look at the win rate is 65%. It's cool. That's cool. That's cool. So he says, thank you, my brother, for the robot. I started with a minimum deposit of $10. The profit is $6.6. That's like 61%. Wow, that's great, guys. That's great. So yeah, man, he I sent him the robots, and then he said, okay, the updated robot is not open. And then he said, my mistake. I had to allow the installation on my computer. So cool stuff. Then he started using the robots, and guess what? He made 61% profits. Well, it's not a lot since it's $6, but it's a lot because it's 61%. Come on, guys. Come on, guys. So I'm happy. I'm happy the robot is doing what it's supposed to do, right? Cheers, man. Thanks. By the way, let's just continue with the strategy. Um, or perhaps I'll just continue on another video because I don't want to make videos too long. Or maybe I'll just yeah, let's just see. I think I'll find time to continue this on another video. So yeah, that's it, guys. That's it.